Would you like to be rich and wealthy, but not necessarily in the money sense, in the social sense, in the social wealth sense, where you have family, you have friends, you have support, you have people who will back you, you have people who will pick you up when you fall down and take care of you when you're sick and when you're old. Welcome in, fam. Much love, Trav here. So, in our quest to better ourselves, in our quest to better our life, it's nice to sometimes take a look at the end goal of wealth, but to define wealth in different ways. Wealth doesn't just have to mean money and things and ability to travel and buy stuff. Wealth can mean a lot of things, and one of those things is social wealth, and we think of that most commonly as family, right? A wealthy, socially wealthy baby has a loving mother, loving father, right? But not everyone gets that, right? That's one example. We think of family, we think taking care of each other, we think picking up each other up when we fall down. We think, I have cancer, who's going to help me pay for this? We think social wealth. We think, who's going to pick me up from the airport at midnight? Or am I going to take a cab, right? That sort of thing is, these sorts of things are worth a lot of money, but you can't measure them in money. And I would argue that it's not necessarily the most important kind of wealth, but it possibly is. I think social wealth and health are up there, because if you're not healthy, then not going to be play out. Life's not going to play out too well for you, right? So you want to develop social wealth, and social wealth is deep relationships and also broad relationships, I think. So when you think of breadth, I think about this. I would like to have a lot of people who have my back, right? And we're going to talk about how to set this up, and not in a Machiavellian using you type of way, but like, this is also why I'm trying to help so many people, and I'm spending my free time to help people for free and trying to make a difference, try to respond to messages, try to make people feel better, help people learn, because I know later on, we just passed 10,000 subscribers on this channel, so thank you for that. I know later on, this isn't the deepest relationship. We probably don't talk on the phone. We might not see each other in person, but there's a relationship here and a breadth. You have 10,000, you have 1 million followers. It's not about the number. It's not about chasing, oh, I want 10,000. It's about, it'd be nice to have a breadth of support, right? A lot of supporters. So if things get hard, or if I have something that I want to sell, or a product, or I have a favor that I want to ask, people will do it. And not because I'm trying to get, that's the whole goal, but because it's reciprocity bias. We help each other, and people tend to return the favor, right? And then depth of relationships, like caring for your family and being and sitting next to the bed when they're sick, and picking up people up when they fall down, bringing people dinner when they're too sick to get dinner for themselves, things like that. You don't want to find yourself in a position where you don't have depth of relationships and you don't have breadth of relationships and you're really on your own. That's a precarious position, even if you have plenty of money, even if you have plenty of health. It's also not going to make you happy. And one of the keys to being happy is relationships, both breadth and depth, but quality relationships. And that's proven. So it's a priority. So how do we do this? Well, it will happen naturally. You can look at it as an end goal, what I have to do, but it will happen naturally if you're a very generous and helpful person. Because not everyone is, but people tend to be reciprocal. We talked about it. You don't want to be used. You don't want to be abused. You don't want to be taken advantage of. But you want to generally, it's okay to be a little bit, gullible. Yeah, and giving and helping, because in general, people skew that way, and it will pay you back. Even if you're not keeping score, you're not thinking, but you wash the dishes, you say thanks, you pick someone up and give them a ride, you help people out when they're down, they will help you back out. So that's a priority. And also to look at your work and your life as, how can I make a bigger impact and influence on society? How can I make a bigger change? What can I do to make a difference? So those are some things to think about. I invite you to think about that, how to make a change, how to make a difference. I gotta jump back to work right now. Would have liked to record a longer video, but was cleaning the house, and we'll come back to this. So exercise for you today, think about both the depth of your relationships and the breadth of your relationships, and what you're doing to improve and work on those, so that you have a social wealth, you have a currency that you can't necessarily measure it with money, but it will pay you back in the long term, bring you happiness and security. And then look at yourself, what you can do to do a better job of fostering these relationships. What's one thing that you can do today? For my breadth of relationships, turn to social media and say, hey, let's make a difference and try to make y'all feel better. And for depth, tell my loved ones I love them, and I'm headed back to Seattle to see them in person soon. So it can be good. Appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon. Much love, fam. And